We provide all that life for ourselves. Like,
because you're useless.
I'm useless?
And if you met a good guy and you didn't like him, you thought he was corny and boring, I totally get that. I totally get that.
If you give an ugly guy a chance, they will f you over.
You want me to...
Yeah, check it. The passcode is your birthday.
Why do women keep choosing the wrong guys, condemning normal men to suffering every time? Let's get started. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey babe, how's your day?
Good, how was yours?
Mine was good. I'm trying to see what you made for dinner.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. I'm sorry, I've been so busy all day.
I had a feeling that this would happen.
Why did you think that?
Because you're useless.
I'm useless?
Unfortunately, a lot of women do overlook the quote-unquote good guys because the good guys can be a little corny and a little boring. And I feel like corny and boring doesn't get appealing to you as a woman until you have matured, until you're like, yeah, I don't need to be outside. Yeah, I don't need attention from all these random guys. Yeah, I don't need to be posting my body on the internet. Like, it really gets to a point where you start valuing your privacy and you start valuing your connection to someone and intimacy over what it looks like to other people and over superficial things like follower counts or like who he follows or what pictures he likes and vice versa. And okay, like, listen, if you met a good guy and you didn't like him and you thought he was corny and boring, I totally get that. I totally get that. But if you meet a guy and you really like him and the only thing that's stopping you from like taking him seriously is the fact that he's boring, you're dumb. Because men are supposed to be boring. I don't want a guy who's outside every single day trying to be active, trying to be involved, trying to be seen, trying to be heard. Just go to work, do your thing, make money, come home, eat, sleep, be boring. Be boring. I love that. I didn't love it as a younger woman because I was like, I want to be outside. I want to have fun. I want to turn up. I want to go on dates. I want to, get dressed and da-da-da. And now I'm like, yeah, I hate everybody. I really do. I don't even like being outside. I don't like drinking anymore. I can't handle my alcohol. I'll just be the first to admit that. So I think I'm done drinking anyways. And I don't really want to build a relationship with somebody in that setting because then it feels like when you're not doing that, your relationship is boring. Whereas if you start off in a relationship, like not going out that much, like eating and enjoying each other's company and doing whatever else that's like building a connection between you guys and not so much like the appearance of a cute couple or a power couple to the outside world and like posting your shit on social media and whatever, you will be a lot happier. You will be a lot happier because the dudes that be out the way and out the scene be the most loyal, be the most respectful, be the most intellectual, they're ambitious, they're driven, they're not distracted by anything. And more women need to start valuing those things over like the hood dude or the popular dude or the really attractive guy or the player, whatever it is. Like those are the types of guys that you mess around with when you're younger and you just want to have fun. Those are not the types of guys that are going to make husbands and good fathers to your children if you want to have them. And even if you don't want to get married, those are not the types of guys that are going to make good boyfriends. So ladies, please understand that if you don't value these things right now, it's probably because you have a little bit more maturing to do. And if you consider yourself mature and you still don't like boring and corny guys, there might be something under there that you have to like dig a little bit deeper to find out about yourself, because I just don't see why you as a woman who is mature, who has her shit together, would want a guy that's out and about.
I think this girl has discovered a rare truth. The value of a person isn't just about how fun they are to hang out with or how many Instagram followers they have. A good, truly mature man will always prioritize his family and their well-being. I'm certain that young women who choose bad boys with an edge end up in tears, even though there were likely good, decent men around them. But it takes maturity to make that choice.
So what does a guy really want when he's ignoring you? There's two different scenarios here. The first one is if he's ignoring you for a short period of time, which if it's like, an hour, 2 hours, or less than that, then he's probably got other things going on. And what he doesn't want is for you to get seriously caught up in your anxiety and start freaking out about things and why hasn't he contacted me and all that kind of stuff. That's what he doesn't want. What he does want is for you to have other things going on and for you to have a full life so that you're not constantly sitting there waiting by the phone, waiting for him to message you back or whatever. And if it's been a long time, let's say it's been a day or a couple of days, what you want to do is question why you're hanging on to somebody who's ignoring you like that. If you want more tips, follow me.
You know when you're staying over at a guy's house and he gives you one of his t-shirts to sleep in at night? Babe, wear my t-shirt. Oh, okay. Do you think he's doing a who wore it best analysis between you and all of his other ex-girlfriends who inevitably wore that same t-shirt to sleep? You're getting ready, you put on your perfume. It's Glossier You! And Glossier, your ex-girlfriend! But he's in his head like, okay, so the top notes of the perfume actually sit differently atop your skin due to the natural pheromones that you have. Pokey, let me stop you right there. I got about 10 other perfume samples in my purse right now. I could just go put those on over this one. It's not a problem at all. Not a problem at all.
When you're listening to a man and he pauses, count to 30 and he'll likely keep going. If you interrupt him, but you'll never hear what he truly has to say. I started practicing it and I would just shut the up sometimes. And I was like, have I been missing out on listening?
I constantly see this comment, well, you're single because you disregarded all the good guys in the past because of your high standards. I am not sure where we went wrong and like we didn't explain that well or something. That is the point of high standards, actually, to keep people that don't fit you and that don't provide what you're looking for away from you. The point of having high standards is not to get married as fast as possible. Like, that's actually the opposite. So yeah, I know that I keep a lot of people away from me. I understand that and I am fine with that. Like, some people cannot just comprehend that there are women that are single by choice, like they're comfortable single. And I'm not even single for that long and I get those questions like, give me a break, what? The point of high standards and women with high standards is we are fine single. Like most of us with high standards, we provide all that life for ourselves. Like we can afford everything that we're asking for 100%. Most of the time we already have what we're asking for. I already have a provider mindset myself, so I will not date a person without it. So yeah, high standards keep me single for now. That is great. They're doing their job. Amazing.
Well, this is only half the truth. High standards in choosing a partner can weed out unnecessary suitors, but they can also make those who pass the initial test think twice. Hearing repeatedly that you're not good enough can push away even the most patient and good-hearted people. Eventually, they'll leave the relationship for understandable reasons. But for the woman, this just becomes another false proof that she was right all along, simply because she lacks the maturity to see the situation clearly.
Say a woman gets so she's married. She has a husband. She gets married. They've been married for, let's say, 6-7 years. They got 2 kids. Now she wants to divorce her husband, right? She said, "I'm not feeling it anymore. I want to divorce you, so I'm gonna go my own separate way." Now the guy has to pay for her, so she gets alimony, right? He has to pay for the kids, even though they're 50-50 custody. He has to pay for the kids. We know how the courts are, right? And so now she's found another guy, while her other guy is still paying for her. Like, in situations like that, do you think that takes away accountability from women in a relationship?
So I'm seeing this guy and I don't know if he's into me more so or if it's just really good communication. I'm really confused. So we've been seeing each other for a while and we both don't want a relationship is what we said at the start, and that we're both not very emotionally available and everything like that. And it's been great. It's been very casual and we are just really good friends. But he is a very affectionate person and he is very considerate and we go on dates and stuff. But like the other night, he asked me out for dinner and it was a really expensive place. And I said, "That's really expensive." And he was like, "Yeah, that's okay. It's on me. Like, I want to take you out." And I was like, okay. We had a really nice dinner. And then when we got home, he was being really affectionate and like got ready for bed. He makes me cups of tea before bed, like really boyfriend vibes. And he started to get a bit awkward, like he wanted to say something. And I was like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I was just wondering, like, how are you feeling about our situation and our friendship at the moment?" And I was like, "Yeah, I feel really good about it. Like, I like being friends with you. How do you feel?" And he was like, "Yeah, I really like being friends as well." And I was like, wait, is this like him testing the water? And I asked him, "Why did you ask me that?" And then he was like, I just want to double check because I know I can be very affectionate and that can be misleading at times. I really appreciate that. But then on thinking about it, I'm like, is he being genuine and communicating and just checking in on our situation? Or is it that he wants something more, and all of this affectionate behavior that he's doing and all these nice things that he's doing, is it to kind of develop feelings? Because if he is just communicating, that's great, but it's also like he's a man, you know?
I'm gonna be so violently real with you. I don't care who I offend. If you give an ugly guy a chance, they will f you over. Okay? In my experience, every ugly guy that has always wanted me first, and I've been like, oh, they seem so sweet, either they start love bombing or they're getting you gifts or whatever it is, they'll always be the ones that are into you first and you won't be into it. And then suddenly you're feeling into it because you're thinking maybe this guy will treat me right, I'll give them a chance. They treat you worse than the hot guys. They see this beautiful girl in front of them.
At first, guys are undoubtedly attracted by beauty. And of course, if a beautiful girl notices them, it boosts their self-esteem. But then, as they get to know each other better, it becomes clear that the ugliness of the soul far outweighs any external beauty. The best option is simply to end such relationships. Of course, after getting this result time and time again, this girl might blame the guys, but the issue isn't with them at all.
Things women find unattractive in modern day men. Number 1, men who are in touch with their feminine side. Examples of the modern day men being in touch with their feminine side. Commonly, guys now are almost overly emotional. Number 2 is pick-me boys. Now, a pick-me boy is a guy who's fishing for compliments. Oh my god, I'm just so ugly. It's because they want you to call them cute or attractive. Or a pick-me boy is a guy saying, no one's ever gonna wanna date me. If you keep talking like that, no one really is gonna wanna date you. Number 3 is guys who do not work out or stay in shape. Girl wants a boy who can pick him up. If my boy's arms were smaller than mine, 1, that would make me feel self-conscious, and 2, it just would not be attractive. Now, although no one ever says it, physical attributes in a man are extremely attractive. People always think that that is a bad thing, but just because you're attracted to how someone looks does not mean it's a bad thing. Obviously, personality is a huge thing as well, but physical attributes also just increases attractiveness so much.
I have a super important dating question for everybody that I need you to weigh in on, because I have asked all of my friends and everyone has wildly different answers, and this would be really helpful to understand. So at what point should you offer to or expect to split the bill, right? Like, I have been on several dates with this guy and he insists on paying every single time. Like, I have offered, I've said, hey, like, why don't we split this? Or, hey, why don't I grab drinks at the next bar? And he refuses to let me. And trust me, I'm not complaining. It is a very, very nice thing that he's doing. But at some point, don't you think that it like, we should do that? It seems like such a fiscal burden on somebody to always pay. And I asked him, I was like, you know, hey, at what point are you going to let me split the bill with you? He said, never. Like what? So please let me know what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I've been dating for long enough that I should understand this by now, but I don't.
Your phone's ringing.
Can you check it for me?
You want me to...
Yeah, check it. The passcode is your birthday. Who texting us?
It's your friend Will. He wants to know if you want to go to the finals game.
Tell him I'm good and I'm gonna just sit here and watch the game with you.
He said he has courtside tickets.
That's cool, but I'd rather watch the game with you. Baby, while you on my phone, can you order us some food?
She can hardly believe that good men exist. Yes, imagine that if you stop choosing Chads, you'll eventually find a decent person. The key is not to get bored in such smooth, stable relationships. That's the main problem with women today. They don't appreciate kind and honest guys.